Good, happy Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. First-step trial of Wolfboro woman accused of neglecting dozens of Great Danes begins. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Calorie.
Now you can have everything. And your family can too.
We want a juice box.
The 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander with standard third-row seating. One of America's safest crossovers.
This month at Lovering Mitsubishi, lease the 2017 7-passenger Outlander, a 2017 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus for only $269 a month. Lovering Mitsubishi, cars you love from people you trust.
The first of 3 witnesses to take the stand in the trial of Christina Fay, a 17-year-old former employee who says she quit after 1 day on the job because of the deplorable conditions inside Fay's home.
The smell of the house was overwhelming, and the floor was slick with feces and urine, and it was so slippery that it was hard to stand.
The young woman testified that she was removing garbage on the property when another employee told her there was a dead puppy inside one of the bags. The teen also says she found rotted raw chicken in refrigerators, and the dogs did not appear healthy to her. The entire ordeal so overwhelming, she broke down in tears when her shift was over.
Immediately just started crying, and I couldn't breathe because I was crying so hard because of everything I had seen. And I felt so bad for those dogs, and I didn't know what to do to help them.
That same sentiment was echoed by another employee who worked for Fay for 5 weeks and lived in an apartment on her property.
I was told by Miss Fay she was hiring a staff of 5 people. So I held on in the hopes that in speaking with her and her saying she was getting these extra people in, that these conditions could be improved upon.
Fay is facing several misdemeanor animal cruelty charges and pleaded not guilty. Her attorney previously told News 9 he and his client are anxious to have the full truth told in open court. And as we mentioned, the lead investigator was also on the stand today. However, the judge called court for the day shortly after he was questioned by the prosecution. Now, the defense will have their chance at cross-examination when the trial picks back up Wednesday morning. Live here in Ossipee, I'm Tim Calorie, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Police warn of aggressive wild turkeys in Massachusetts. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue with available automatic emergency braking that could help stop for you. And motion-activated liftgate. You still got some tricks left in you. Take on today the Nissan Rogue family. Lease today, starting at just $159 per month, or get a low $109 per month lease on the 2017 Sentra.
Like so many towns, in Bridgewater, wild turkeys have gone from novelty to nuisance.
Whenever I see them, there's always a good amount, like 10 or 12.
They'll actually stop in the middle of the road and actually will stop traffic.
And sometimes a menace.
They've been chasing me. They imprinted on me as being low in the pecking order.
Bob Smith taking this cell phone video of a flock picking on him.
And they actually came from over a hill behind me and first started off by one pecked me in the calf.
Let's just say Bob and the big birds got off on the wrong foot.
I was moving away from them. They figured, okay, we have more power over you. You're scared of us.
Creatures of habit, turkeys will stake out their ground. If they see you as being weaker, they will challenge you.
Well, I'm facing off with them, and right up to the point that one came at me with his spurs.
Bridgewater's turkeys apparently not afraid of the law. Police recently tweeting video of an aggressive flock chasing down a cruiser. Experts say to ruffle their feathers, you have to stand your ground. Never run. Make yourself look bigger, and they quickly back off.
I have a spray bottle of just water that I'll go out and spray at them. They don't like water.
Guess who's not getting picked on anymore?
I won't say they're afraid of me. I think maybe some mutual respect.
The local animal control officer says because turkeys are wildlife, they're outside her jurisdiction. But if they become a public safety issue, then definitely call police. In Bridgewater, Jorge Quiroga, WCBV News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Cumberland officer cooks dinner for elderly man low on food. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Technology, Spectrum delivers with superior HD picture and sound and the fastest internet starting speeds for the price. Plus, Spectrum Voice lets you talk all you want with unlimited nationwide calling. Spectrum TV, internet, and voice, $29.99 per month each.
Even in the town of Cumberland, which is considered one of the most affluent communities in all of Maine, the need is here. They've turned this two-bay garage at the town hall into a food pantry. Every month, 75 families come into this food pantry to get their food, and Sergeant Burgess actually got the food here to prepare for that elderly gentleman. He says that photo on Facebook of him in the kitchen is really just a snapshot of a bigger problem. Food insecurity among Maine's elderly.
I had to do a welfare check on someone, and based on that welfare check, I was able to, find out some things that needed to be known. This person needed some help.
An 80-year-old veteran living alone, a Cumberland resident since 1940. And when Sergeant Burgess noticed very little food in the house, he headed straight to the local food pantry. He shopped and returned to the man's home and cooked up a meal and got the ball rolling so the elderly gentleman could receive other services. Burgess calls it good old-fashioned community policing.
Fortunately, there are times where we can take that break from being the police officer and being a community person and compassionate.
Sergeant Burgess says he appreciates all the positive feedback he's getting, but he said he was just doing his job. And he says what's really needed, if you really want to help, more donations like this at all food pantries. In Cumberland, Jim Keithley, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report. A very cool thing. Very nice way to do for your neighbors. North Korea's economy may not survive another year, detector says. In his first public U.S. appearance, high-level North Korea defector R.I. Jong Ho says North Korea economy may not survive a year under tough UN sanctions. R.I. adds that China, North Korea's largest trading partner, is very upset with the dictatorship for begging for money rather than trying to develop its economy. The solution to resolving tensions around Korean Peninsula is understanding in changing with director Kim Jong-un, thinks R.I. said. North Korea is so weak its economy might not last under tough United Nations sanctions, a high-ranking defector said Monday in his first public speaking engagement in the U.S. Trump draws ire after claiming past president didn't call fallen soldiers' families. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Beneficial bacteria. Fortunately for me, each cup of Lifeway contains billions of probiotic bacteria, which make a tasty addition to my collection, which I keep in my gut. Lifeway, be a probiotic billionaire.
Why haven't we heard anything from you so far about the soldiers that were killed in Niger, and what do you have to say about this?
I've written them personal letters. They've been sent, or they're going out tonight, but they were written during the weekend. I will, at some point during the period of time, call the parents and the families, because I have done that traditionally. I felt very, very badly about that. I always feel badly. It's the toughest calls I have to make are the calls where this happens. Soldiers are killed. It's a very difficult thing. Now, it gets to a point where, you make 4 or 5 of them in one day. Is a very, very tough day. For me, that's by far the toughest. So the traditional way, if you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls. A lot of them didn't make calls. I like to call when it's appropriate, when I think I'm able to do it. They have made the ultimate sacrifice. So generally, I would say that I like to call. I'm going to be calling them. I want a little time to pass. I'm going to be calling them. I have, as you know, since I've been president, I have. But in addition, I actually wrote letters individually to the soldiers we're talking about, and they're going to be going out either today or tomorrow. Yes.
Earlier you said that President Obama never called the families of fallen soldiers. How can you make that claim?
I don't know if he did. No. I was told that he didn't often, and a lot of presidents don't. They write letters. I do. Excuse me, Peter. I do a combination of both. Sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do, but I do a combination of both. President Obama, I think, probably did sometimes, and maybe sometimes he didn't. I don't know. That's what I was told. All I can do is ask my generals. Other presidents did not call. They'd write letters, and some presidents didn't do anything. But I like the combination of, I like, when I can, the combination of a call and also a letter.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.